Hello and welcome. My name is Zach Apple. I'm a product owner and developer for Perigee and Perigee Transforms systems. Today we're going to be taking a look at Perigee Transforms and how to get started, so let's jump right in. Alright, Transforms enables you to easily transform source data into destination data. So in front of me here, imagine with me that you're given this property file and you're told, hey, we need a valid COM properties ETL. But this is what you're given. This file isn't exactly ready to load. You can see it has a lot of extra header information. Our data starts on line 5. And it's split up amongst the data. This file is definitely not ready to load into any sort of target system. What we want to produce is a valid COM properties ETL. So to do that, we're going to need to take this data, map it through a mapping document, and produce a valid COM properties ETL. Let's head over to Transforms and see how easy this is. First, I'm going to take my properties file and drop it on our file cleaner, and just click download. In a matter of a couple of clicks, we've now taken our very dirty starting property file, and we've produced a fairly clean file. You can see it got rid of all of the extra header information, cleaned up all of the spaces and the details, and this file is a lot cleaner. However, it hasn't been transformed to look like a different format. It's still in its source format. So let's look at producing a valid COM properties ETL. Without providing any additional information to the system, I'm going to go ahead and drop our property file on there and say transform. Perigee Transforms is going to do a couple of very interesting things here. It's going to identify our property file as a COM properties file. And the reason it can do that is we have information stored about valid Yardi files and what the schema of those files are. You can see that it produced a valid map. You see our COM properties map file, and it did the map of our source file and transformed to get us results. Let's take a look at those results so we can see what it produced first, and then let's work our way back through the process. You can see opening the result file gets us a lot closer to a valid COM properties file. In fact, it was able to map some of our fields across. You can see our property code and the address information and the state was all auto-mapped by the system. This is a lot closer and would almost be valid to load into Yardi all on its own. Before we look at modifying this file, we need to understand the mapping process. So let me go ahead and download the map that it created for us and open it up. All right, in front of me, I have the COM properties map open. Let's take a look at it. So the map defines a list of target fields. This says, here are the fields that I need to exist when we are done transforming this file. This is our target. Our source fields define a list of fields that exist in our source data. You can see property code, owner, address 1, property code, address 1, and owner. You can see that our map has automatically mapped these for us. These are the fields it was able to automatically identify and map across. You can see property code to property underscore code as an example of this fuzzy mapping logic. The map allows us to define a list of types to use, as well as the rule that is applied to them. So reading this map, I can say that we're going to take property code, copy the value in it to a field named property underscore code, and that type should be just a varchar or a string value. Let's go ahead and make a change to this file and say I also want to copy property code to the reference property ID and also keep it a string. There's other types here. Let's say I want to default the country code because we don't have information on it, and I want to default that to US. And I'd also like to take the state, and I'd like to fix an issue that I see, and I'll point out here in a moment in our transformation report, and that is that I want all of these to be 2-character codes, and our source file has something called North Carolina, not NC in it. So I'm going to take our state, and I'm going to say I would like to pass that through a map, and that map will be called state code. I'll show that here in just a moment. But we can modify our map to fit our needs, as well as change the data types and conversion logic that exists within this map. If we were to go look at the transformation report that it generated, and open that up, you'll see exactly the state code issue that we're about to fix, and it alerted us of this problem. It says that North Carolina is too long and was truncated. It will not fit the destination map. What we want to do is create a lookup file. And that lookup file allows us to read in source values and transform them to target values. So you can see here we have just a very simple map defined. This lookup map only contains one kind of map, and that is the state code. But if the value is NC, then it will be NC in the target file. If the value is North Carolina, it will be NC in the target file. And this will effectively fix our North Carolina issue. All right, back over here in Transforms. We've made changes to our map, and we also have a lookup values map now. So I'm going to simply clear off the map that it generated, drop our modified map in here, as well as drop the lookup values that we have created. I'm going to hit transform and you'll see how fast this is. We've now successfully retransformed our property file. Let's take a look at it. All right, upon opening our file, you can see the changes that we made in our map. Country is now defaulted to US, and you can see that our state code is now NC because it was processed by the map. This was all made possible because we made changes to our mapping specification. We said to map the state code and to default the country code. The other change that we made here, you can see we're going to also copy property code into the ref property ID, and we have done that as well.